key to a successful private-public partnership almost always comes down to aligned interests. In this particular case, 1.8 billion rands. I'm here at the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone, where we took a tour of the completed pipeline of the Wilmar oil refinery plants. Good day and welcome to this Focus On with me, David Rademacher. Stay with me as I'll be speaking to key stakeholders who took us through the journey and give us more background about this refinery. I just want to know, what is the direct economic impact that this refinery will have on the province, long term and short term? As I understand that you will be, or there will be about 200 direct jobs once the refinery is operational.
Let us thank you for affording us this opportunity. Let us also greet your viewers at home. This becomes a milestone for the country like South Africa and KwaZulu-Natal in particular. It is situated in Richards Bay ITZ, which has been declared by this government as the energy hub. In the near future, you will find gas to power situated here. It means that in terms of spin-off, a lot of things will come out of there. Beside 200, those will be direct employed. The cleaning company will benefit in the process, local SMMEs, the logistic, the trucking sector, a lot of people, because in the value chain, even the commodities of what will be sourced around the area will be key for us. We understand that at this point in time, the crude oil will come from other countries, and we are grateful of what the Singaporean company had to invest the Wilmar in terms of South Africa, which is key for us, and we are delighted that we are going to compliment them as government. They are here to stay. They are going to finish phase one, which is critical already. A lot of things has happened. This is the first of its kind. We've got a direct pipe from the ocean, berthing from the ocean straight to the site, and they're also supplying South Africa and other African continent or African countries are going to benefit in this process as part of Africa Free Trade. It means that in the near future, those who want oil and other commodities and want to benefit in this process are going to come to KwaZulu-Natal as a province, will be the viable point, and it is creating and harnessing a base for us to continue to tap, because others will come for this investment. They will see other opportunities, and the Richards Bay ITZ still have some space that people can come and invest in it, and we are glad and delighted that this company, in terms of material condition, in terms of the conducive material condition that has been produced by government, they think that it is a nice area. They still want to do more, which is why other phases are on the pipeline, phase 2, probably phase 3. Who knows what will happen in the near future, because they're saying that so far so good, and we are clear that we are going to work together. And this 1.8 billion for us, it's a serious investment. It must be protected. We are going to do that, which is why jointly, even in terms of security, they must be protected, they must be profiled, they must be promoted. This is the correct brand to profile South Africa as a country.
Now, as you mentioned, this is a 1.8 billion rand investment thus far, but the partnership is also a balanced partnership that showcases how private and public sector can work together. Now, your aligned strategy with Wilmar, what will that look like in the future?
In the future, you know, South African policies, we want to entice a space where we are saying that those who have an interest in buying equities to a well-established company, we could be assisted by the government. But for the sovereignty of our country called South Africa, it will only be strategic that whenever we've got an investment, it must be promoted by through giving some shares, local shares, to the people who are working, whether in a form of labor, those who are working for the company, or those who've got an interest. We do have some spectrum and a space where we will design a space where those who want to invest must invest. But for us, already it's key that government alone cannot create conducive environment to have more employment. It is the private sector space as well that complement government. So both public and private sector must continue to play that role in terms of derivatives. It's going to be nice for the country, South Africa, in terms of GDP. It's going to be nice even for this investment when they grow, when they harvest what they've invested on the ground, because it's what we want to strive for as a government. This excellency concept means that whoever invests in our space must be protected, must be profiled, as I've already highlighted. But whoever invests in South Africa must also take into cognizance that we come from crucial apartheid past, where the imbalance of the past meant that Africans can't own anything. Now is the time that they must also own in their country, so that they have interest. When you have space for meat processes, when you have a space for production, they must also partake in that chain, so that at the end of the day, those who produce the means of production must have an element of everyone in the scope. Everyone must also benefit in the process.
Now, MEC, also South Africa have been, or it has been highlighted that cutting through the red tape to invest in South Africa has been brought into question a few times. Is this setting the precedent for better partnership and better foreign direct investments?
A lot has happened in the country, South Africa. If you go to eThekwini in particular, you'll find Inkosi Albert Luthuli Hospital, which was a PPP model. This is amongst those that will give us that space. You also have Inyanza, the light metals, also situated in Richards Bay. All those are part and parcel of what we want to envisage as a country. The president at some point in time, probably 3 years ago, spoke about industrialization. It has yielded already. You've got Esto Hannes in Palito. You've got Sapi Psycho that invested 7.1 billion back because of that commitment. It means that KwaZulu-Natal is a place for harvesting. It means that KwaZulu-Natal is a place that you must invest in. I've already highlighted that we've got 600-kilometer coastline that is starting to yield positive fruit for the benefit of blue economy, and people are going to benefit out of it.
MEC, sorry, last question, and this is coming to a close. You touched on this earlier when you mentioned this forms part, or can form part, of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Do you see this in the same breath springboarding South Africa to be that tunnel, to be that funnel, to have investors coming through us, through KwaZulu-Natal, to funnel refined oil back up into the rest of Africa?
In fact, when Vilma blossom, they will become the embodiment of what we called ambassadorial, because go back to Singapore, if the space is good, they will tell their colleagues, they will tell their other partners that South Africa is the best component. KwaZulu-Natal in particular has got a nice versatility, warm people, and a nice place to invest. So yes, it is one of the springboard. It is going to benefit us in the process, because when you find these products or in the show, in the store, it means that people will start by knowing that, okay, it's in Richards Bay, we're in Richards Bay, in KwaZulu-Natal. Then they will know that it is an area where you could do your business, where you could also harvest from your business at the end of the day.
We now took the tour with everybody, and this is only phase one. Could you just explain to us the operations on this refinery plant and Vilma's position in phase one as it stands right now?
Okay, so phase one for this project is built up of few elements. One is a 2.6 kilometer direct pipeline from the berth to our site. Plus we have storage tanks here, about 40,000 metric ton plus that we can store here. In addition, we have our own refinery and a fractionation plant. Both are 500 tons per day capacity. In addition to this, we will have a packing plants where we'll be packing 2 liters, 5 liters and 20-liter buckets for the local consumer market. In addition, whatever we produce will also be sold in bulk to B2B customers who uses ingredients for processing further. It could be for cosmetics, it could be for detergents, soap industry or food industry. That is phase one of this project.
What is the future strategy? Because like you've mentioned, there's still a whole beneficiation process to come in the future, but it's not immediate, it's long-term strategy. So what is Vilma's long-term strategy?
So long-term strategy, we would look at enhancing the use of the byproducts that we make here ourselves and value addition at the plant. Second, we believe South African farmers have done a great job in terms of expanding the soya production in the country. This will ensure near future we will be as a net exporter, especially for crude soya, and our plant with our pipeline is going to be a main factor of how we can export efficiently from South Africa to other destinations like Asia.
Now, as of now, the investment stands at 1.8 billion. How much are you looking to invest continuously? As like you pointed out, this is only phase one.
So the investment, initially what we had planned was just over $1 billion, but with the delays that has happened, we're currently sitting at 1.8 billion. So Vilma is a long-term player. We look at, our motto is we invest, you harvest. So we believe if we have completed a phase one of this project, we will look at other sustainable projects, and whether it's another $1 billion or $2 billion, it'll be more about sustainability projects so that we can enhance the site and add more value to the community out here.
Where do youth fit into this forward strategy? As of now, there is a huge youth unemployment rate. So do you have programs, or what is your long-term strategy to motivate youth to be part of this sector?
So what we do as a business as of today, we run a program with interns of 30 to 40 young men and women. The whole objective of this is to expose them to world-class technologies from a practical perspective. And once we give them that experience, they become more employable in the industry. So this is our philosophy of training people. Plus what we intend to do here, we will be having a staff comp over 200 people in the first phase. And as we go along, we're going to keep expanding. And especially we believe in youth. It's just more about having the patience to train them and then make them more employable going forward.
And as we bring this conversation to a close, one of the top of mind question is, why the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone? Why choose this as your area of operations?
So, as you know, Richards Bay Port is a deep water port. It's got extremely high logistical efficiencies compared to Durban, because you can have a bigger payload, so you get freight advantage, number one. Number two, Richards Bay RBIDZ, it's promoting businesses which you get benefits from that part. Lastly, there is going to be energy certainty in Richards Bay more than other parts of KZN, we believe. So it is a win-win from every perspective, from what we believe, what the government is doing and what we are able to achieve from it.
And that's how we wrap up this episode of Focus On. I'm Deval Radema, reporting from the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone in KwaZulu-Natal. Until next time, it's goodbye.